Guys, they're finally cutting these trees down. It is a lot of... They're working hard, guys. They're supposed to cut the whole tree down. They've been at it all day. I'll come back and let you see where they progressing at. This is a lot of trees. They gotta cut all those limbs off first. Good morning, guys. I'm out here taking a survey of some things that got to be done today. We got a few things. I got up this morning and did my watering, so I don't have to do that right now. I'm gonna do some later tonight, this evening. But I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can see what I'm working with, and also give you another angle of the guys that's working on the tree limbs and stuff, and the trees get cut down. I'm sorry, the sun is in my face. Okay, so right here is the front. We got a letter on our door attached to our lot rent, along with our other neighbors, and they're telling us that triangle metal piece, the property people, the people that own the land, not the people that we're buying the trailer from, is saying that we have to remove that. And you know, that frustrated me, because it's like when we start purchasing this trailer, that was already on the trailer. And I'm gonna take you up here real quick so you can see them getting that tree down. And this is just a process that they're going through. So they're going limb from limb until they can get it down a lot, until they can cut the whole tree down from the bottom, or from however they're gonna cut it down. But anyway, I got some onions right here. I'm gonna try to blow it up. I honestly forgot I had put my onions up here. I did. I kind of remember this greenery. I don't know if that's some of the perennials that I cut, or is it weeds. If you know, let me know. I'm gonna update this bed this weekend as well. But going back to what the property owner said, not the trailer persons, that the people that we're buying the trailer from. You know, we've been here 4 years, and this is the first time they said anything about these hitches, which that's what come on now. So who is going to remove the hitch? It's not us, because first of all, we don't know how. Number two, I mean, whenever we're ready to move it, that's something you have to add back to it. So, you know, I don't see that happening. So anyway, the people that we pay the lot rent to, which is just the property manager, was saying, hey, just put a skirt around it or cover it up with some flowers or something like that. Well, that's going to be my option. So I have started flowers, which is late, but I have started flowers to cover that up. And I'm going to build a little bench across it. That's my project for the next day or so, which it may not take long, and it may just depend on what kind of wood I have left. And if you remember from my old videos, I cleared this area a couple of times, and those weeds keep growing back. I mean, when I say I dug, thought I got all the roots out of it, that grass grows back no matter what. So that is going to be a hard thing to try to make it out of a flower bed, unless I fill it up with containers, which still may not be a good thing. It may how you said suppress the weeds from growing. I think I put weed barrier down there before, I'm not sure, but I can tell you right now, that is a hard area to keep the grass from growing. So we're gonna work on this front part. And also they had the audacity to say, you guys need to paint the trailer. First of all, when we bought this trailer, it was rustic like this. So, and that was something we already had in mind, is to paint it. We did stain the stairs. We was working on the porch first. So our goal is to completely finish staining the stairs, the color. We found the color that we want. So we're gonna go back over that, as well as we was gonna do the fence. That is some of the wood that I'm gonna use to do my project. And the skirt, we never had an issue with our skirt, but For those that know, you know, Texas, Arkansas, Alabama, you know, we've been having some really bad weather. And this is the first time ever through bad weather that our skirt actually blew inside. So my husband been putting it back up, you know, every night that the wind is blowing so hard and messing with it. A while back, a lot of people got their skirts replaced. We didn't, because ours was in great condition. These are the trees. These are the guys. These are all the trees so far they've taken out. And this big tree right here, that's the tree that they're going to bring down. But they got to get all those limbs out. I don't think it's going to be a one-day job. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But they've been here early. So I know that the first step is to get those hanging limbs off, and that's what they're working on. So I'm praying that they get those really bad limbs off. So the next storm that we got coming in this week, we don't have to worry about that, because trust me, they scrapes against the house. They break off and fall on the house. Not only mine, but the neighbors. And guys, I really hope they clear that mess up, because that's something. Oh, they got a, whatever that is, little dump truck thingy. So trash holder, whatever. They're gonna get that. So anyway, right now it's just between my house and my neighbor's house. So we're hoping that over the next, between this weekend and next weekend, I don't see it being a one-day project. It's just them two. So, and I know it's a strategic way they have to do it in order for it to be safe for them as well as for us. You can't move the trailer while they do it, you know. But so far they've been doing a great job. They did remove some from her side, which her side was not as bad as ours. But this is the tree in the middle, is the one that they're going to take all the way down, they say. So that'll be a blessing. Also, I've been wanting to build a deck back here, because we're going to be here at least another 5 years, at least. And I can think of a lot of things that I can put back here. And then in the summer, as you can see, it is about 10:30, 11. That'd be a good place to sit back and relax, have your coffee. But when you have that big old tree and things falling off of it and dropping off of it, it's not going to make your porch area comfortable, you know, with sitting down. So depending on how everything looks, that may be a goal, maybe a future project. We might build us a porch right here. And also, you know me, I can put some of my shade-loving plants right here as well. So anyway, one of the things that it's going to be long-term. No one can do anything in 10 days and 20 days, you know, with this economy. But our goal is to paint, and we've been trying to figure out what color, you know, to do that. For those that know, that's not an easy process. But so that's with the house. Another thing I'm going to show you is, like I said, I'm going to redo the flower bed. I'm going to, of course, I have to dig this part up and get back together. It's not going to be a one-day project either anyway, because I still have a lot of things that I'm doing. It's like multiple things, and the weather finally getting to the point where, you know, we can do some things. Believe it or not, he did cut last week and the grass is already back up. So this is that season where we're going to be doing a lot of cutting. Ooh. So that's a big piece. Guys, these are some big trees. Anyway, I'm going to walk you around here with my little scary self, and I'm going to see if we can, yeah, when I say scary, I don't like things jumping out on me. I don't like bugs. So as I'm going, I'm giving you an outlook of how the garden looks. So the water tote, we brought the water tote on the inside, and we supposed to be removing this again, like I say, slow process, because we got to be able to get this grass right here. And this is one of the things my husband, you know, try to keep weed eating. And it's just one of the this is the only in-ground bed I have. This is my water tower, where the water drips off that and goes into the gutter. I removed the downspout. So today is the day I will be working out here replacing the downspout. I might film it, I might not. It just depends because we're at a point where we're just trying to get things done. The downspout is going to go into the water tote. The water tote, I have a motorized suction. I don't know how you want to call it. But anyway, it helps the water hose push pressure so I can actually use the water from the rain and water my garden. Because those that know I'm doing it by heart. Also, you see I have pots on the ground, which I never do. My goal is I want to get them lifted up. So at first I was going to use this to start lifting it up. Now that may not be possible since I'm on a time frame to cover the front trailer hitch up. So I may have to use these boards to do that versus making me like a plant stand, a narrow plant stand just to sit them on so they can be off the ground. And those that know, I love stuff off the ground. This is your winter greenhouse. I don't know if I'm gonna put the shade greenhouse up. I really don't know because right now it do protect things that's in there from the rain, but you don't want this to get too hot where it start melting because we have some hot summers. So I gotta decide on if I'm gonna leave this up or switch it out. I do have my seed starting table on the inside, but until I finish everything on the outside like I want it, and it takes time. Someone said, well, you've been doing that forever. Well, circumstances, you have to go by your circumstances. Right now, my circumstances don't allow me to work every day on my garden area like I want to. You know, this is not a 24/7 thing, and those that also know, I don't do a lot of heat. So I have to do it as my body say, hey, you can do it. So it's just a process, but let me give you a full picture view of what's growing since it's very light out. I say very light, it's light outside. So since it's light, here we have our poblano peppers and our Kentucky beans, which they're looking so good, guys. I can't remember if the Kentucky beans crawl or climb. I have Kentucky beans over here, as well as I planted my orange jazz. Those Chinese 5-color peppers, they're probably not going to do anything. But remember, I left them there. If they do something, they do something. If they don't, oh well. I'm going to get these up, and I'm going to use these today. I'm going to start planting some of my herbs in it. Again, I know I'm behind, but hey, it is what it is. We got to pull weeds. Again, everything won't be done today, but these are the to-do list things. My mustard broadleaf greens are looking really good. They're shooting up. That now, one thing I can say about the heavy rain, it waters your stuff really good. I love that. And I did come out here and I did a full water, so it is what it is. Love Lady is not watering anything else until tonight. I have my collard greens over here. I have a sweet pepper that's just decimated for whatever reason. Mustard greens and onions right here. And those little ones. My new roses right here. I'm just waiting on them. Oh gosh, look what they're doing. They're cutting that big one. It don't look big to you, but trust me, that sucker is big, and it may. He's trying to have it to where it fall in the middle and not on the house. But my gosh, that's a sharp blade, y'all. I am so happy they're coming down because, child, we're finna have some bad weather coming Monday. It may not be as bad as it was last week, but it's gonna be terrible. And these limbs are coming off. And that's that tree in the middle that I was showing you that they're gonna cut down. But this is the first step. They gotta get all those hanging branches. Did y'all see that? Just imagine if that came down. But anyway, here is my, look at my bok choy. Oh my gosh. It is so beautiful. I am so ready to eat it, and it's doing good. This just in like a week, maybe a week and a half growth from when I transplanted it from the rain. Okay, and then these here's catching up. They're not as fast as these. They might like the container. And I don't want to say experiment, but I like putting them my stuff in different places to see which area is going to grow better than the other. I just planted the tomatoes yesterday, and I came in and did a deep water. Now right here where you see the light colored dirt, it's nothing planted there, so I'm not tripping on if that's soaking wet, because we are going to have a deep rain. So I just wanted to make sure that my transplant stuff, I did water them after I transplanted them, but today, this morning, I got up and I watered them again. So the deep rain is going to water everything. And here I did water this. It's drying real quick, at least the top surface. I did deep water them, and I fertilized them because it was time for them to be fertilized. And my tomatoes, these are tomatoes and poblano peppers and one sweet pepper. This asparagus beans still have not came up on this side. I don't know why, but it is what it is. But these asparagus beans over here has came up. And I have my beefsteak tomatoes right here, 3 rows, three of them. My Florida Dad tomatoes, my VR Moscow, I still haven't changed their tag, and my orange Oregon Spring tomatoes. Now right here in this area, I did plant some turnip. They haven't came up yet. Who knows, they may be late bloomers. I might go inside and just go ahead and start some just to see if it's the seeds, if it's, what is it? Over here, at least my kale is starting to come up. I can see that. My candy cane pepper is surviving. The Scotch bonnet is hanging on. And as far as the peppers, now I'm going to give it a little bit longer. But I do have stuff inside planted, and they're cutting this tree. I don't care about the sawdust coming down. You know, the tree does, because it's okay for the trees. It's okay for the soil, the plants. And I don't know what version of this video you will see and when. I may have to piece it together a couple of videos at a time. But over here, this is my pepper bed. It's not the best right now. And I might have to say, okay, no problem. This may end up being my cucumber bed. So, you know, it is what it is. Again, Lovelady is not doing anything extra than what she's already growing because, you know, timing. Just the timing. And that's less for me to have to worry about maintaining. I do have a dome over here, so I got to get that. This is the kind of stuff that keeps me out of here a lot because I don't want anything to crawl from them bushes, them little weeds. But my husband did a great job clearing it off, so I'm hoping that's something he would get to, you know, this weekend because the grass will have already shot back up since last weekend. This is my water tote for those that have not seen it. This is a up close one. And it is a food grade water tote. It does very well when I'm watering it. So what I have to do to complete this is that piece where the tape is at, I have to cut right under it because I have it welded on pretty good. So I have to cut the downspout so the other downspout can connect to it, because I glued it with some cement glue, so it's not easy to get that piece off. And I already have the replacement piece, so I will be putting that on there. We did put the tower on cinder blocks just to lift it up a little bit since we have to stretch it over. And it's really not a far distance that we have to stretch it over, but I wanted to make sure it had enough elevation to make a difference. This is what the wind has done to my skirt, if you can see. And this, like I said, it's the first time this has ever happened, but it did it only on this side so far because I think that's where the winds was blowing. And all the updating they want us to do is not that we have a problem with it. It's just the fact that, you know, it's not even the trailer owners, it's the property owners. So it's bad when you're paying 2 different people, but we can't move it. Even though we're buying it, we have to wait until we're finished buying it. Therefore, we have to deal with the property owners all this time. So we have, everybody know, if you've been watching, my neighbors have not. And I mean, we've been here 4 years, and they never, the porch is bad. They say they have to replace the porch. The front is worse than the back. they have trees growing inside. In that window, it's been like that for at least 2 years for sure. And he said he wanted some garden beds, so I gave him my garden beds. All he had to do was just, you know, freshen them up and make sure tighten them up. Nothing. One of them, the trees are starting to, the grass is starting to grow through them. So I'm about ready to ask him for them back, and that's sad. And do something with them for myself. I can use the wood most likely. I would just take them, disassemble them, and use the wood for something else. Now, what I do like, he got wild garlic growing, and that's cool. I like that. But he also have weeds and stuff growing too around his property. So anyway, this video is already long. Like I said, I might split it up. So whatever portion you're looking at, just know that I probably split it up. So it's probably a part 1, part 2, part 3, maybe. But I wanted to get enough information to you guys since I haven't filmed in a while. I haven't been to the allergies in about 6 months. 5 to 6 months. And yes, my allergies are terrible right now. But cost is so high. Paying for this procedure, paying for that procedure, paying for this, it's extremely high, you know. And right now I have to work on me the best way I can, because you just don't have the money to do that. And the money I set aside to do that, it's gone with one specialist. I see a couple of specialists. So again, everything is fine living wise. Still working a lot of things, work wise, personal wise. But I can say God is good, and he is allowing me to stay gardening. I have not stopped gardening. I've still been growing, in exception of whatever was going on the first part of the year to now. It's been terrible. So hopefully I can get you more videos soon, but most likely it'll probably be closer to May would I really start putting out videos, because we get out in May. For those that know, I work in education, so that summer break, hopefully it don't be so bad on me, and hopefully I have everything that I need in the garden, and I actually have my water tote filled up where I need it. You know, that would help me a whole lot this summer. So again, have a good day, guys. If you want to see more videos and the updates and the projects that I'm doing or will be doing, just click the subscribe button, leave a comment, and if you have any tips, I consider myself still, regardless, I still consider myself a new gardener, have a lot to learn. I mean, yes, I'm out here, yes, I grow stuff, but I never feel like I know too much where I can't get help from anyone. So brand new gardeners, I hope you get a chance to look at this video. I hope you have looked at some of my videos. It's not an easy process. Know your setup, know your conditions, know your work time, know your available time to be out here in the garden. It's not easy. Know where you're getting your water source from. Know just what you're planting and how often it needs to be watered or fertilized. It will help. Know your landscape. Know what kind of grass or what kind of soil you're going to be planting, and know what's there before you got there. Because in my situation, it wasn't the perfect setting. I heard, you know, they was dumping a lot of stuff, so you don't know what's in there. And I am doing everything organic. I don't spray anything on there. I don't put anything on there. So what I get is what I get. I try to plant enough so if the bugs get it, at least I can piece together some things, you know, to make a meal. And I can tell you right now, I'm still loving what I'm doing. And I don't think that'll ever stop. You know, maybe one day we'll be in a different situation, a different property. But that's just time with the economies going up. Do not think that you'll never need a garden or you don't never need to grow your own food, because right now it is terrible. They'll say what they want to say about Texas. Across the street from me, these people, they may not have, I don't know if you can look, and I don't want to invade their privacy too much, but they may not have the best looking home. But what they have, and I didn't go all the way down, what they have is still gold, because they have some kind of land. It ain't no 50 acres. It ain't no 20 acres. It probably, if anything, maybe 2. And this is 2 different houses. At least I did film. 3 different houses. But I can tell you right now, they know if anything jump off, especially and they have horses, and one have a horse and a donkey. I don't know what the other ones, if anything. But the point is, if they want to build something else right here, they can. You know, they don't have to sit here and say, oh, the house blew down, where we going to live? They can pick up those scraps and they can put another little temporary structure there until they finish building. They can park their cars or their vans or whatever they got, and they can build something. They can garden. Now, I have never seen them garden, and then they just may not be into it. That don't mean they won't. When times get really, really bad for them, they might do it. And hey, I don't know what they got going on over there. I'm not all in their business like that. They're just the backside. That's their backside to our front side. So, you know, you have to think smart right now. You just have to. You know, it's too bad. That particular land that they have, they can plant some things. May not be the best situation with all these freaking raccoons and it's the possums coming through here. But the thing of it is, they have something to try to do something with. You know, they're not trying to live like the Joneses. I'm assuming, I don't know their situation, they might be comfortable. They don't have anyone to tell them, you can't have this, you can't do this, you can't do that. We don't have an HOH over here. They don't have an HOH over in this area, period. So they can do a little bit what they want to. Now, I'm not going to say certain things don't have to be up to code by the city or whatever, but you got it's a weird situation. I can say not every place in my area is like this, but you have 2 different city limits on this street itself. On my side is one city limit. On their side is another city limit. This street that we live on, starting at our stop sign to one street over on their side, on that, if you can see in between their houses, that street that you can see right there, that starts from my street, from their gate, back gate, from their back gate to their front street. That's a whole different city limits. And just that span is where the streets are very bad. Our street and their street. And from our stop sign to their stop sign. I don't know, someone said, I don't know if it's true, that there's both city limits be fighting over whose responsibility is. Well, you have a big old city limit sign saying entering this city limit, entering that city limit, or leaving. You can't get nothing done. You don't own it, so you don't want to be doing it yourself, and it's not yours. You don't have no rights over it. The same way it was when we came down to our trees. I'm say our, but the trees are better. We don't own this property. There's a property owner responsibility to remove those trees. They know it's unsafe, you know. And it took them over a year. We've had so many storms. We've had so many hauls of big limbs that my husband had to break down and get rid of. You know, he shouldn't have had to do that. So even if I needed him to help me in the garden, he couldn't, because he had to get the necessary clutter. And then they have the audacity to say, you have to remove all tree brush, this and this. This come from your trees. You don't send anyone over here to do it. So I know this video seems like it's a rant and rave, but it's not. It's just saying, knowing your surroundings, knowing your conditions, making sure that you focus on wherever you living at, you have the rights to do this or that. If you have inheritance of property or land, do not sell your land. Don't let nobody tell you sell your land. If you selling your land, you better make sure you have another piece of property already in line that's going to be paid for when you sell yours. You know, don't be a fool. I'm sorry, and I'm not calling any particular person a fool. Don't be a fool to sell your property if you don't have another one lined up to where it's going to be paid off like the one you're trying to sell. It don't make no sense. Also, make sure, from what I heard and learned, make sure that whatever property you get, you're allowed to do certain things, because yes, you can buy that property, but it's still strict codes in certain areas on still what you can do and what you cannot do in that area with that property. So I'm gonna leave it at that, guys, and I hope this was a helpful video. It was more talking, but again, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. More videos will be coming soon right now. And before we go, I'm going to let you look at them cutting a tree down again.